coming to the school for what? Can anybody tell me?
For study.
For study. Okay, someone is told study. Anybody else? Yes?
To be a good people.
Okay, to be a good people. Give a clap for him. To be a good people. Okay, now see, to be a good people, studying systematically, I will tell you come to school for getting education. Okay, to get educated. So can anybody tell me what do you mean by education? Yes? Okay, I'll tell. According to the Oxford Dictionary English, education means it is a process of instructing a student mentally, morally. There are two terms included, mentally and morally. If you see the mental value, our education system has gone far excellence giving the mental values to the student. We are becoming stronger and stronger in the mentally. You are studying physics, chemistry, biology, mathematics, all the subjects you are studying, and you are becoming mentally sound. But if you see the moral values, there our education system is declining day by day, the moral values. I'll give an analogy. Suppose you are purchasing an instrument for a saw. With the instrument you are getting a manual, right? In that manual it is written do's and don'ts. What to do, what not to do. If you follow the do's, then the instrument will last till the last time. But if you won't follow, then it may destroy before its lifetime. Similarly, when you get a human body, there is also a manual comes with that. God gives a manual like the scriptures where it is written what to do, what not to do. And if you follow the scripture, then you can do something for the society. Otherwise, you collapse before your lifetime. I'll give an example. Suppose a person doesn't follow the manual, then how the negative consequences comes. See, you are related to army schools. I'll give an example from army background. In the year 2002, Army Public School, New Delhi, Dhalal Kuan, a 12th standard boy whose father was a lieutenant colonel and whose elder brother was taking training in National Defense Academy NDA. He failed in the 12th mathematics examination. And you know, my dear student, what he did? He committed suicide. Is failing in one subject stops the life there? His life doesn't exist before that, after that. If it doesn't have this moral values in the character, then you take a negative direction in the life. A little bit of failure or frustration, a student breaks, they collapse there. You can make failure as a stepping stone to the success. So many persons has failed in their life, if you see their life story, but they had become a good leader in the society. You have to see the positive aspect of each and every situation. I'll give another example. Student commits suicide inside IIT. I am not talking about preparing students. I am talking about inside IIT. Now see, these students are the most intellectual, brainy students of the world. In the India, these are the most intellectual students what the IIT produce. And if this student will commit suicide, what is the missing link here? What is the lacking point here? They are the most sound intellectual student. Something is missing here. That is the moral value, the character. What a student need to inculcate in the school life. If he will miss it, then in the future he has to face the consequences. These students are challenging the whole world in the intellectual basis and they are competing with the most intellectual mind. But when the time comes to understand the emotional value of a colleague or friend, they fail there. Why? Because of the lack of moral value in the character. I'll give an example from my own field, software background. In the year 2009, the 5th largest company of India, where around 60,000 employees work, it has 66 branches all over the world. And you know, my dear friend, the chief executive officer of that company, the chairperson of that company, went behind jail. What is the reason? Because of unethical way of doing business. Greed has no limit. And just imagine, the 60,000 employees were working, keeping a person as a role model day and night. What will happen to the faith? If the leader of the society is corrupted, you don't have the character and the moral value, then it impacts the whole society. And my dear student, you are the future leader of the nation. And this is the right time to have this value. Okay, I'll explain with an analogy. Suppose you are seeing a big tree. Okay, fruit, the flower, the trunk, everything you are seeing. But one thing is invisible. What is that? the root that is there within the soil. But see, if the root is not deep rooted now, the little bit of wind or a rain or a cyclone, the whole tree will collapse. If the root is deep rooted, then it can sustain the cyclone, the wind, the rain, everything can sustain. Then it can give fruit to the people. Similarly, for the student life, the moral values, the character, like the foundation, it is like the root. If it is deep rooted, it is there. Then when you go outside and face the failure, the stress, the frustration, you can tolerate that like the heavy rain. And you can sustain and you can go ahead in the life and you won't think the negative part. I'll give some example. You might be all the students, nowadays the students are wasting maximum of, according to the survey, the student waste maximum of time in watching movies and listening music and playing video games, according to the recent survey. So, leader of the nation, who was that? Mahatma Gandhi. Did he have a figure like Salman Khan? No. Or beauty like Katrina Kaif? No. Still you are seeing his picture in each and every note of the currency of India. Why? Why? He was a well-educated person. He has done his bachelor degree from British University. But simultaneously, he was full of moral values and character. Why? So these scriptures of India, I'll give and see, this scripture, the Bhagavad Gita of India, he has taken shelter of this book. This is the ancient scripture of India, Bhagavad Gita, where everything is explained, the character, the moral values, all the things, and he has taken shelter. What he used to comment on this book, whenever any doubt comes into my mind, I look into this book, immediately I used to get solution of that doubt, and I go ahead in my path. See, if you have this both the things, then you can do something for the nation. I'll give you all are scientific students, right? You're already in physics, chemistry, biology. So I'll give an example from your physics background. So there is a scientist who discovered E is equal to mc square. Who was the scientist? Yes? Come on. E is equal to mc square. 11th, 12th standard. Energy is equal to mass into velocity square. Who was the scientist? Yes? Correct. Give a clap for him. Albert Einstein. So I will give a quote from Albert Einstein. What Albert Einstein used to say, he used to say that whenever I think about creation of this cosmology universe, my knowledge is like a drop of water before the knowledge of the superhuman person who has created this creation. And everything seems like superfluous. Just imagine, my friend, such a big scientist who has given E is equal to mc square, on which postulation whole physics is based. If you remove E is equal to mc square, physics has no base. Such a scientist has such an humble nature, humility. As a big person, but see the character. If a person doesn't have this character and moral values, he cannot think about others. He will think about himself only. He cannot do something for the nation. And Albert Einstein, if you read the autobiography, he used to continuously read this Bhagavad Gita every day without fail. So this ancient scripture of India has given shelter to so many leaders of the nation. Swami Vivekananda, he conquered the whole world based on this one book, Bhagavad Gita. Another example I'll give from physics. Gravitational law, who was the scientist? Okay, Isaac Newton. So, you know what Isaac Newton used to tell? He used to tell, whenever there is a creation, there is a creator. I am speaking in the microphone. Someone has created this microphone, right? It doesn't come by chance. Similarly, he used to tell, this whole cosmology, the planets are moving, the sun is moving, everything is moving. There is a person who has created this whole cosmology, and he is God. They are giving all credit to God. Such an humility, humbleness they have. But nowadays we are learning little bit of knowledge from physics, chemistry. Our head is not coming to the ground. We are thinking something we have achieved in our life. But if you read this scientist, the autobiography of this big scientist who has given such a theorem, nobody has given in the past or future, and nobody is going to give like this. These have such an humbleness and character. This is called knowledge. What you are learning in the school, that is called science or Vigyan. But what is there in the scripture, this is called Gyan or knowledge. In the science, you are adding to chemical and seeing the result, right? You are experimenting and you are seeing the result. That is called science or Vigyan. But this knowledge you cannot experiment. It is already experimented and it is there in the book. You have to take it as it is and you have to inculcate in your life. Then you will see the result. Then you can see how beneficial you can become as to the society. I'll give a crude example, okay? Suppose a knife, okay? Knife in the hand of a thief, what he used to do? He take the life of a person, right? The same knife in the hand of a doctor, what he used to do? He saves the life. The knife is the same, but it depends upon the consciousness of the person. Like the knowledge what you are gaining here is like the knife, but how to utilize that knowledge, that depends upon your consciousness. Scientist, the intellectual person, the leader of the nation doesn't have this moral value in the character. It impacts the whole country, the whole world. Like you are the student now, you are the future of the nation. If you have this value, then you can do something for the nation. I'll give a process how to imbibe these qualities now. See, if you put a iron rod inside a fire, what will happen? It will get heated, okay? Means it is getting the qualities of the fire within it, right? So when a iron rod getting association of a fire, it is taking the qualities of the fire within it, correct? Similarly, a student, if he is associating with a good associated people, automatically he will get the good qualities within it. Same student, if he associate with the bad persons, automatically he will get the bad qualities within it. It is the matter of association. I'll give an example. You are coming to the schools. If the teachers and the staff have this moral values in the character, automatically it will flow to the student. Because energy flow from higher potential to the lower potential. The teachers and staff are like the role model for the student. And the teachers and staff have this value, automatically it will flow. Like I'll give the importance of a teacher. The engineer can bring 1,000 skyscraper building, a doctor can save life of a dying person, a businessman can create a crore of turnover, but a teacher, he can make each and every personality. That is the value of a teacher. He can give an architect to the nation because he is creating the future of the nation. That is the priority of a teacher. So if the teacher has these values, automatically it will flow to the student. And my dear student, you are going home and you are wasting times in watching these movies, Bollywood movies, which is full of negative vibrations and music, everything. If you take shelter of these books, these are like higher potential. It will flow automatically to you because you are at a lower potential. These books are full of moral values in the character. Now I'll explain one verse from the Gita. Okay, so that you will get an idea how to go through it. Suppose, I will give an example relevant to you. Examination is coming, right? You all are preparing a schedule to jot down to complete your syllabus before the examination, right? But unfortunately, you waste your time in watching movie or listening music or playing video game. And unfortunately, when a paper comes to the examination, you think, why I have wasted my time? It happens or not? Yes. It happens with me also. Like that I am telling you. It happens. Now, I will tell the reason why it happens. Because of lack of mind control. Your mind is not in your control. So this one verse of Gita explains you how to control your mind. See, there are 5 horses in this picture you can see, right? So these 5 horses are your 5 senses. What are your 5 senses? Eye, nose, tongue, ear, skin. These are your 5 senses. So these 5 senses are like the 5 wild horses which is pulling in 5 different directions. And my dear student, the person who is running the charioteer, if that is like your intelligence, if your charioteer is a strong person, he can control the horses and he can give a direction to the horses. But if the charioteer is a weak person, the horses will be overpower the charioteer and they will run in different directions. Similarly, if your intelligence is strong enough, then you can control the senses and you can achieve your destination, your goal, what you want to achieve. You can finish your schedule. Otherwise, you will do something else, what you doesn't want to do. So similarly, now I will tell the food for the tongue is what you eat, rice, dal, chapati. But the food for the intelligence is, sorry, it is not like that. The food for the intelligence is knowledge. What is there in the book? So this is the food for the intelligence. If you go through this book, then your intelligence will become strong and you can control the senses and you can achieve your destination target. So I just explained you one verse from this book. There are 700 verses. Just imagine if you read all the verses, what change will bring in your life and what you can do. I just explained one verse. And it is and the format is very easy. Verse is there, word to word meaning is there, translation is there, then the example is there, practical application, how to apply in your own life. An example is given. And this book is written in the most of the universities in the world. University of Cambridge, University of California, they are reading this book as a textbook in their syllabus. The Western countries is 50 times more advanced than India. And now they are realizing the moral values and character. What is the priority of this moral values and character in the student? Students are going to school with pistols in their hand in the Western country. And they are shooting to the teacher with a little bit of misunderstanding. So now they are realizing what is the importance of moral values and character. They are including these books in their syllabus now, in the religious department. The same book, English, this book they are including. So India, if the same pace will go, after some year, India will also the same scenario will come. India is not famous for how many Olympic gold medal he is achieving. India is famous for his rich Vedic culture. For that the world is looking into India. But unfortunately, my dear friend, we are going some other direction. I have one more book with me. I'll explain that book also. This is Krishna, okay? Here all the activities, pastimes, but when Lord comes to this world, what he performs, it is explained with a story format. And when Lord does an activity, he wants to give a moral values to the student. He wants to teach a lesson to the mass. So I'll explain one lesson from this book so that you will get an idea. Okay. I'll give another example. There are two best friends in the school, okay? One friend stood first position, second friend stood second position, okay? Now, though they are best friends, then the student who stood second position, he develops an envy towards the best friend who stood first position. It happens or not? It happens. Though you doesn't want, it happens automatically. Why? Because envy is there within your heart. Lust, greed, envy, these qualities are there within the heart. By your own ability, you cannot take it out. But Krishna says, see, I'll explain this example. Krishna is dancing on the horse of the Kaliya, right? And Kaliya is vomiting poison from his mouth. So when we go through this pastime, automatically the poisonous envy, what is there in your heart, it comes out. Like Kaliya is vomiting poison from your mouth. So when you go through the pastimes, it comes out. That is the benefit you get by reading this pastime. What is impossible to take by your own self. Because it is there in the heart. So this is the thing you will get from by reading this book. There are all the pastimes are explained of Krishna, what he did. So it is in a story format. So this is the Gita Jayanti month. In this month, Krishna spoke Gita to Arjuna. So all over the world, we are conducting Gita marathon. We are going schools and colleges and institutions, creating this awareness. And especially for this month, we are distributing these books to the students and the staff. Thank you very much for your precious time.
Well, students, the staff members and the students who are interested to purchase this book, all the students who are interested to purchase this book, they can give their name to your class teachers, right? And so far staff members are concerned, they can give their names to me. On behalf of KV number 4, I thank Mr. Abhimanyu and his companion Mr. B.Tech from International Society for Krishna Consciousness.